that if he hadn't existed, the world would have been better off. That's a heavy load to carry.
That's what he thought?
I think so. I can't say that, and he isn't here to tell us whether we're right or wrong.
Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy were Hollywood legends with an intense, passionate love story. Yet, she refused to marry him. Tracy's ongoing marriage and religious guilt were only part of the story. The real drama lies in Hepburn's own struggles with past heartbreaks and a fierce determination to stay true to herself. Discover the hidden turmoil and surprising truths that kept these two stars from ever walking down the aisle. Katharine Hepburn, the iconic actress known for her fiery spirit and independent streak, was raised in an era when traditional gender roles were the norm, but her parents were anything but ordinary. Her mother, a passionate suffragette, actively fought for women's rights, even taking young Katharine to demonstrations. It was a bold move for the time, and it undoubtedly shaped Katharine's views on gender equality. Katharine herself defied traditional expectations from a young age. She disliked girly things and preferred playing with the boys. She even cut off all her hair and insisted everyone call her Jimmy. Instead of reprimanding her, her parents embraced her tomboyish nature, encouraging her to be true to herself. This unwavering support allowed Katharine to blossom into a confident and independent woman who would go on to achieve incredible things. It was this foundation of love and acceptance that paved the way for Katharine's success. She never felt the need to conform to societal expectations, and she always stayed true to her own unique personality. She was a natural athlete, excelling at golf, and developed a passion for movies. But her idyllic childhood was shattered at the age of 13, when tragedy struck during an Easter break trip to New York. Hepburn and her older brother Tom were enjoying their time in the city, attending plays and exploring the sights. But one morning, Hepburn made a gruesome discovery that would haunt her forever. She found Tom dead, an apparent suicide. The loss of her beloved brother devastated Hepburn, but her family's reaction to the tragedy was even more chilling. In an attempt to shield themselves from the painful truth, Hepburn's family refused to acknowledge Tom's suicide. They insisted it must have been a tragic accident, a botched experiment gone wrong. Their denial, a desperate attempt to avoid confronting the harsh reality of their son's death, would cast a dark shadow over the Hepburn family for years to come. Katharine, forced to grapple with her grief in silence, would carry the weight of this tragedy with her throughout her life. The devastating loss of her brother transformed Katharine Hepburn, leaving her with a lingering anxiety and distrust of others. The memory of Tom haunted her every step of the way, making it difficult for her to connect with people and feel truly comfortable. When she went to college, her social awkwardness and self-consciousness became even more apparent. She refused to join the other girls in the dining hall, feeling like an outsider. But deep down, Katharine was a rebel, and college became the perfect playground for her adventurous spirit. In one of her bolder moments, she even stripped down and took a dip in the Closter Pond, much to the shock of her classmates. She was also suspended for smoking in her dorm, further solidifying her reputation as a rule breaker. But it was in her second year that Katharine discovered her true calling. She joined the drama group and landed the lead role in a play where she dressed up as a man. This wasn't just for the stage. She often embraced a more masculine style in her everyday life as well. During this time, Katharine fell in love with Ludlow Ogden Smith, a charming socialite and businessman. They were a whirlwind romance, but their love story was destined for heartbreak. They were simply at different stages in life, with different dreams and aspirations. Ultimately, their paths diverged, and their love story became a bittersweet memory. Despite her father's doubts about her acting ambitions, Katharine Hepburn knew deep down that the stage was her destiny. She was determined to prove him wrong, even if it meant facing some hurdles along the way. But her journey to stardom wasn't as smooth as you might expect. Hepburn's early theater days were filled with embarrassing mishaps. Critics weren't fans of her unique voice, which they found too sharp and shrill. Then, in a moment of unexpected pressure, she was asked to fill in for the lead actress on opening night, a role she had only understudied for a mere month. It was a disaster. She showed up late, flubbed her lines, and even tripped over herself on stage. Talk about a nightmare debut. After being fired, Hepburn sought comfort in marriage, tying the knot with Ludlow Ogden Smith, a socialite businessman. But the newlywed life couldn't contain her passion for acting. After just a few weeks of playing the role of a wife, she was itching to get back to her true calling. It was clear that domestic life wasn't for her, and her ambition for the stage burned brighter than ever. During their 6-year marriage, Katharine Hepburn found herself relying on her husband's unwavering devotion. Ludlow Ogden Smith was a doting and supportive spouse, providing both emotional and financial backing for his aspiring actress wife. But despite his affections, Hepburn's heart belonged to the theater, and her passion for acting overshadowed her love for Smith. Despite her undeniable talent, Katharine struggled to find stable work in the theater world. She was fired from multiple productions, leaving her discouraged and questioning her path. One particularly harsh rejection came from playwright Philip Barry, who bluntly told her that she was simply not suited for acting. His words stung, but Hepburn's stubborn determination wouldn't let her quit. She kept pushing forward, auditioning for roles and hoping for a chance to prove herself. And then, in 1932, fate intervened. She landed the lead role in the Broadway play The Warrior's Husband, a comedic romp where she played a warrior princess. The critics loved her performance, praising her energy, wit, and stage presence. It was a turning point in her career, a sign that her dreams were finally within reach. As luck would have it, a Hollywood scout was in the audience that night, captivated by Hepburn's magnetic performance. He saw a star potential in this fiery actress, and before she knew it, Hepburn was whisked away to RKO Studios for a screen test. The rest, as they say, is Hollywood history. Landing the coveted role in A Bill of Divorcement was a dream come true for Katharine Hepburn, but she wasn't going to let Hollywood walk all over her. She demanded a hefty salary of $1,500 a week, a bold move for an unproven actress. The studio took a gamble on her, and boy did it pay off. In her very first film, Hepburn showed no signs of nerves or inexperience. She embraced the spotlight with her signature confidence and delivered a captivating performance that left critics in awe. RKO Pictures, recognizing her star potential, immediately signed her to a long-term contract. Just 2 years later, Hepburn snagged her first Oscar, the first of 4 she would win in her remarkable career. But Hepburn's success wasn't just about her acting talent. It also marked the end of her struggling marriage to Ludlow Ogden Smith. Her skyrocketing career and a passionate affair with the married agent Leland Hayward put a strain on their relationship that couldn't be repaired. Despite the messy circumstances surrounding their divorce, Hepburn and Smith managed to remain friends for the rest of their lives. It was a testament to their mutual respect and understanding, even as their paths diverged. Hepburn's journey from a Broadway actress to a Hollywood icon was full of twists and turns. She faced challenges, heartbreak, and even scandal, but she always stayed true to herself and her passion for acting. Her unwavering spirit and undeniable talent made her a legend of the silver screen, and her story continues to inspire aspiring actors and filmmakers around the world. Even as Katharine Hepburn navigated a whirlwind romance with Leland Hayward, she found herself drawn to another man, a secret crush she kept hidden from the prying eyes of Hollywood. According to biographer Barbara Leeming, this mystery man was none other than director John Ford, with whom she worked on the 1936 film Mary of Scotland. Ford and Hepburn shared a unique connection, an easygoing friendship that quickly blossomed into something more. By the time filming wrapped, Ford was smitten with the spirited actress. He was so enamored that he even planned to divorce his wife Mary so he could marry Hepburn. It seemed like a fairy tale romance, but it was destined to meet a tragic end. When Mary Ford got wind of her husband's plans, she threatened to take away their daughter, leaving Ford with a heartbreaking choice: his love for Hepburn or his daughter's well-being. Hepburn, desperate to make things right, even offered Mary $50,000 in a misguided attempt to secure both Ford's freedom and his daughter's future. But Mary Ford wasn't swayed by money. She refused to give up her daughter, and Ford, torn between his two loves, ultimately chose his family. Hepburn's dreams of a happy ending with Ford were shattered, leaving her heartbroken and disappointed. This secret affair, filled with passion, betrayal, and heartbreak, was just one chapter in Katharine Hepburn's complex love life. It was a reminder that even the most independent and strong-willed women can fall prey to the complexities of love and the harsh realities of life. John Ford, the acclaimed director, was notorious for his love of liquor. He would often indulge in multi-day drinking sprees, but never during the middle of a film shoot. However, during their collaboration on Mary of Scotland, Hepburn received a frantic call from producer Cliff Reed, who informed her that Ford had gone off the rails with a wild drinking binge in the midst of filming. Katharine rushed to Ford's home, only to find him alone and utterly drunk. In a misguided attempt to help him, she concocted a dangerous mixture of whiskey and castor oil, hoping it would sober him up. However, the concoction had the opposite effect, making Ford violently ill. Hepburn was horrified, believing she had nearly killed him. The incident made her realize the limitations of her influence over Ford's self-destructive tendencies, leaving her feeling helpless and distraught. While Hepburn waited for Ford to recover, her other lover, Leland Hayward, grew increasingly frustrated with the situation. He was impatient with Hepburn's devotion to Ford and longed for her undivided attention. The love triangle was reaching a breaking point, with emotions running high and loyalties being tested. With their respective marriages ending, it seemed like nothing could stand in the way of Katharine Hepburn and Leland Hayward's happily ever after. However, in a surprising twist, Hepburn rejected Hayward's proposal. It was a bold move that would have serious consequences. Hayward, a powerful figure in Hollywood, didn't take the rejection lightly. Whether it was due to the snubbed proposal or her lingering feelings for John Ford, Hayward turned his back on Hepburn. He had previously promised her a coveted role in the play's stage door, but after her betrayal, he snatched it away from her. It was a cruel blow, a reminder that even in the glamorous world of Hollywood, personal relationships could have a devastating impact on one's career. Hepburn's decision to prioritize her own desires over a powerful man's affections showcased her independent spirit and unwavering commitment to her own happiness. But it also came at a price, as she lost a potential role in a major production and faced the wrath of a scorned lover. This turn of events was a harsh lesson in the realities of Hollywood, where power and ambition often clashed with love and loyalty. In 1936, Katharine Hepburn's career hit a rough patch. She starred in 4 movies in a row that bombed at the box office, and her prickly personality wasn't helping matters. Hepburn was known for being a bit of a diva, refusing to give autographs or interviews. She even earned the nickname Catherine of Arrogance because of her standoffish attitude. The public was starting to turn on her too. Her quirky fashion choices and independent spirit, once celebrated, were now being criticized. Hepburn realized that Hollywood could be a cruel and fickle place, and she was determined to regain her footing. When she heard about the upcoming epic film, Gone with the Wind, she saw it as her golden ticket back to the top. She desperately wanted the role of Scarlett O'Hara, the fiery and passionate Southern belle. But producer David Selznick had other ideas. He rejected Hepburn in the most humiliating way possible, telling her that she wasn't sensual enough and lacked the character's sex appeal. Talk about a blow to the ego. But Hepburn was resilient, and she wasn't going to let one rejection define her career. She continued to pursue her passion for acting, determined to prove her worth and silence her critics. Feeling the sting of Hollywood's harsh criticism, Katharine Hepburn decided to take a break from the glitz and glamour. During a theatrical tour of Jane Eyre in early 1937, she received a dinner invitation from the eccentric millionaire and aviator, Howard Hughes. They had been introduced through their mutual friend Cary Grant, and Hughes had been smitten with Hepburn ever since. As their romance blossomed, Hepburn and Hughes became the talk of the town. The pair, a glamorous actress and a daring aviator, were seemingly a match made in heaven. Hughes wasn't your average leading man, but Hepburn found a unique balance with him. However, a part of Hepburn still held out hope for John Ford, hoping he would leave his wife and be with her. But that day never came. By May 1937, Tired of waiting and seeking a new chapter, Hepburn made a bold move. She moved in with Howard Hughes. It was a surprising decision, but it was a testament to her adventurous spirit and her desire for a fresh start. For Katharine Hepburn, life with Howard Hughes was a whirlwind of adventure and extravagance. They sailed on luxurious yachts, flew in private planes, and enjoyed the perks of being a high-profile couple. Hughes had just set a new world record for flying around the globe, and their relationship was soaring to new heights. But beneath the surface, there were cracks in their foundation. Hepburn was a fiercely independent woman, and she wasn't willing to give up her freedom for love. When Hughes proposed to her during a trip to visit her family in Fenwick, she wasn't ready to say yes. She had one final test for Hughes, a test that would reveal his true character and determine their future together. To Hepburn, family was everything. She came from a close-knit and supportive clan, and she wanted to make sure that Hughes could fit into that world. Before Katharine Hepburn could say "I do" to Howard Hughes, she needed to make sure he clicked with the most important people in her life, her family. So, they packed their bags and headed to Fenwick, her beloved hometown on the Connecticut coast. But it quickly became clear that Hughes wasn't exactly a fan of family bonding or small-town charm. The visit was a disaster. Hughes seemed bored and uninterested, even coming across as rude and arrogant to Hepburn's family. It was like a scene from a bad rom-com, with the eccentric millionaire clashing with the down-to-earth Hepburn clan. For Hepburn, this was the final straw. She realized that Hughes wasn't the right fit for her, no matter how exciting their life together seemed. She couldn't imagine spending her life with someone who didn't appreciate her roots and her loved ones. So, Hughes flew back to the West Coast alone, leaving Hepburn behind with her family and a broken heart. In 1938, after the failure of the screwball comedy Bringing Up Baby, the Hollywood industry labeled Katharine Hepburn as box office poison, a harsh title for any actress. This setback pushed her back to the stage, where she toured with the play The Philadelphia Story. But fate had a surprising twist in store for her. Thanks to a generous gesture from her ex-lover, Howard Hughes, Hepburn owned the film rights to the play. The Philadelphia Story proved to be a massive success on stage, and Hollywood came knocking once again, eager to adapt it into a film. This time, Hepburn was in the driver's seat. She took control of her destiny, negotiating a deal with MGM, the top studio in town. But Hepburn wasn't just any actress. She was a woman who knew her worth and wasn't afraid to demand what she deserved. She had a list of non-negotiables, conditions that had to be met before she would agree to the film adaptation. Katharine Hepburn, fueled by her determination and ambition, set her sights on reclaiming her spot at the top of Hollywood's A-list. With the film rights to The Philadelphia Story in her possession, she had a golden opportunity to rewrite her narrative. She wasn't going to let this chance slip through her fingers. Hepburn knew she had to make this film a hit, and she had a clear vision in mind. She not only insisted on playing the lead role herself, but also handpicked two of Hollywood's biggest stars to co-star alongside her, the dashing Cary Grant and the charismatic Jimmy Stewart. It was a strategic move, ensuring that the film would have star power and appeal to a wide audience. The movie was carefully crafted to showcase Hepburn's strengths and soften her image. Her character, Tracy Lord, was a complex and relatable woman who, despite her wealth and privilege, struggles with vulnerability and insecurity. Hepburn's portrayal of Tracy was both fiery and tender, allowing audiences to see a new side to the actress they had once labeled box office poison. The film was a masterclass in Hepburn's cunning and determination. She had orchestrated a comeback that would go down in Hollywood history. When The Philadelphia Story hit theaters in 1940, it was an instant smash. Critics raved about her performance. Audiences flocked to see her, and her star power was restored. It was a triumphant return to the top, a reminder that Katharine Hepburn was a force to be reckoned with. Her next project, the romantic comedy Woman of the Year, was a film she shaped to her liking. She handpicked George Stevens as the director and selected the charismatic Spencer Tracy as her leading man. Little did she know, this decision would spark a love affair that would forever change her life. Hepburn's first encounter with Tracy was electric. She was smitten from the moment they met, but the feeling wasn't immediately reciprocated. Tracy, known for his rugged charm and down-to-earth demeanor, took some time to warm up to Hepburn's fiery personality and strong opinions. However, the spark between them was undeniable, and their on-screen chemistry translated into a real-life romance that would become a Hollywood legend. Many consider Spencer Tracy to be the love of Katharine Hepburn's life, and Woman of the Year marked the beginning of their passionate and often tumultuous relationship. It was a love story that defied conventions and captivated the public's imagination. Hepburn and Tracy's sizzling chemistry on screen had audiences hooked. Their undeniable connection made them a box office hit, and studios paired them up in film after film. But behind the scenes, their relationship was anything but simple. Their performances were so effortless and filled with genuine affection that people started whispering about a possible real-life romance. To protect their image and keep their contracts intact, the studios tried to keep their affair under wraps. But all that secrecy only fueled the rumor mill, and soon everyone in Hollywood knew about their scandalous secret. Tracy, a married man with a strong Catholic faith, struggled with guilt over his affair with Hepburn. He felt his religion was condemning him, and his son's deafness deepened his guilt. He saw it as a divine punishment for his sins, a burden that weighed heavily on his soul. The weight of their secret affair and Tracy's religious guilt added a layer of complexity to their relationship. As the years passed, Spencer Tracy's personal demons grew stronger, and Katharine Hepburn found herself caught in the undertow of his struggles. She accepted the painful truth that Tracy would never leave his wife for her, bound by his unwavering Catholic faith. It was a love that could never be fully realized, forever hidden in the shadows of secrecy. Tracy became increasingly distant from his wife and children, seeking solace in rented spaces and motels. The weight of his double life, coupled with his personal struggles with anxiety, depression, and addiction, took a toll on both him and Hepburn. She described him as tortured, a man consumed by his own inner demons. Their clandestine relationship also affected Hepburn's career. By the 1940s, she was devoting significant time and energy to helping Tracy cope with his insomnia and alcoholism. She became a caretaker, a source of comfort and support, filling a maternal role in his life. Despite her devotion to Tracy, Hepburn was adamant about one thing: she never wanted to have children. It was a decision that might seem surprising given her nurturing nature towards Tracy, but it was a testament to her fierce independence and her unwavering commitment to her career. While Katharine Hepburn often proclaimed her independence and self-sufficiency, her enduring love for Spencer Tracy revealed a softer, more vulnerable side to her. Despite Tracy's ongoing marriage and his personal demons, Hepburn remained devoted to him for decades. During this time, Hepburn's career flourished. Unlike many actresses of her era, she managed to stay relevant as she grew older, choosing roles that challenged and intrigued her. She wasn't afraid to take risks, and in the 1950s, she even ventured into the world of Shakespeare, proving her versatility and talent as an actress. The 1960s brought significant challenges for Katharine Hepburn, especially concerning Spencer Tracy's deteriorating health. She put her own career on hold, stepping away from the spotlight for 5 years to dedicate herself to caring for her beloved partner. It was a testament to her unwavering love and devotion. In 1967, the couple made a triumphant return to the big screen with Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, their 9th and final film together. The movie, a groundbreaking exploration of interracial relationships, was a critical and commercial success. Hepburn even won her second Oscar for her performance. However, joy quickly turned to sorrow. Just 17 days after the film wrapped, Spencer Tracy passed away. Hepburn, who was by his side during his final moments, was devastated. Yet, she continued to honor their secret pact, choosing not to attend his funeral out of respect for his wife and family. For decades, Hepburn kept their relationship under wraps, never publicly acknowledging their love until after Tracy's wife Louise passed away in 1983. It was a testament to her loyalty and discretion even after his death. Only then did the world learn the truth about their enduring romance, a love story that spanned 26 years and 9 iconic films. The romance between Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy captivated the world, but there are whispers that their love story might have been more complicated than it seemed. Hepburn's tomboyish looks, independent spirit, and disinterest in traditional roles fueled speculation about her sexuality. Some even wondered if she was a lesbian, and once she became linked to Spencer Tracy, the rumors expanded to include him as well. Theories emerged suggesting that their highly publicized affair was merely a cover for their true sexual orientations. Tracy's struggles with depression were sometimes attributed to the internal conflict of hiding his supposed homosexuality. Whether there's any truth to these rumors remains a mystery. However, it's undeniable that Hepburn and Tracy shared a deep and unique bond that transcended societal expectations and personal struggles. Spencer Tracy's passing left a deep wound in Katharine Hepburn's heart, but she refused to let grief consume her. Instead of retreating from the world, she channeled her energy into her work, diving headfirst into the role of Queen Eleanor of Aquitaine in the historical drama The Lion in Winter. This fiery and complex character resonated with Hepburn, allowing her to express her own strength and resilience in the face of loss. Her performance was nothing short of spectacular, earning her a third Oscar. However, Hepburn, never one to chase awards or accolades, didn't even attend the ceremony. She was a woman who valued her craft and her independence above all else. As Hepburn aged, her perspective on life and her relationship with the public shifted. While she had always been wary of the press, she gradually began to open up, sharing glimpses of her witty and charismatic personality. In 1973, she even granted a rare 2-hour interview with Dick Cavett, where she charmed viewers with her candidness and humor. Katharine Hepburn was a woman who never shied away from speaking her mind. She held strong opinions on a wide range of topics, and she wasn't afraid to voice them, even if it meant ruffling a few feathers in the process. She was a vocal advocate for birth control and abortion rights, standing up for women's reproductive freedom long before it was mainstream. In a time when women's voices were often silenced, Hepburn's outspokenness was a breath of fresh air. When it came to politics, Hepburn didn't mince words. She was a proud Democrat, and she wasn't shy about voicing her support for the party's progressive agenda. She wasn't interested in playing it safe or avoiding controversial topics. She believed in standing up for what she believed in, regardless of the consequences. Perhaps most surprisingly, in a town where religious beliefs are often intertwined with fame and fortune, Hepburn proudly declared herself an atheist. She didn't believe in God, and she wasn't afraid to say it. In 1973, a surprising turn of events brought Katharine Hepburn and John Ford back together. Ford's grandson, working on a book about his grandfather, arranged for a meeting between the two former flames. He even recorded their conversation for posterity. However, he got more than he bargained for when he accidentally left the tape recorder running after leaving to fetch something from his car. Unbeknownst to them, Ford and Hepburn's private exchange was captured on tape. In a tender moment, Ford confessed his love for Hepburn, and she returned the sentiment. "Take it easy, and I'll come by in the morning," she said. Okay, I love you. It's mutual," she replied. This intimate conversation, filled with warmth and affection, offers a glimpse into the hidden depths of their relationship. It suggests that their connection went beyond mere friendship or professional collaboration, hinting at a deeper bond that had endured over the years. Sadly, their reunion was short-lived. John Ford passed away in August of that same year, leaving Hepburn with another painful loss. As the years rolled on, Katharine Hepburn witnessed the passing of many of her friends and loved ones, but she remained a vibrant force, even into her 80s. Her athleticism didn't fade with age, and she continued to play tennis almost daily, maintaining her energetic spirit. She also discovered new hobbies like painting, exploring her creative side in different ways. However, the weight of her brother's death still lingered in her heart. In a surprising twist, Hepburn decided to change her birth date to his, effectively making herself 2 years older. It was a secret she kept for years, a way of carrying a piece of her beloved brother with her. Only in her autobiography did Hepburn reveal the truth about her birth date. It was a shocking revelation for her fans, but it also shed light on the depth of her grief and the lasting impact of her brother's death on her life. In the spring of 1993, even the indomitable Katharine Hepburn couldn't escape the effects of time. After years of pushing her body and mind to the limit, she was hospitalized for exhaustion, marking the beginning of a gradual decline in her health. 3 years later, in 1996, she was struck by a severe case of pneumonia. The illness took a toll on her already weakened body, and by 1997, her condition had worsened significantly. The once vibrant actress was now facing a battle against dementia, a cruel disease that slowly robbed her of her memories and independence. Despite the challenges, Hepburn held on for 6 more years, surrounded by the love and support of her family and friends. But it was a difficult time, filled with both physical and mental struggles. The once sharp-witted and independent woman was now facing the harsh realities of aging and illness. In 2003, at the age of 96, Katharine Hepburn passed away from cardiac arrest. It was a peaceful end to a remarkable life, filled with passion, resilience, and a love for the arts. And in a final stroke of poetic justice, Hepburn passed away in her beloved family home in Fenwick, Connecticut, the place where she had found comfort and solace throughout her life. Despite the challenges and hardships of her later years, Hepburn's spirit never wavered. She remained a symbol of strength, independence, and unwavering determination, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire generations of actors and filmmakers.